Hey guys, it's Chandler Hayden, and we're back with another show this week. And this week, I wanted to bring in a female friends of mine, me and Tori. Oh my gosh, me and this person have been friends for probably about a year now. And I just have a feeling y'all know who she is. You probably see her on TikTok. You probably see her on Instagram doing her thing down at OSU. So without further ado, Miss Tori Ortiz.
That was so good. That was good.
Miss
Oh my
so
gosh. I just love that we became friends on TikTok and here we are now.
But I wanted to start off the show with this because I wanted to ask you if you knew how we became friends, because I was thinking about it the other day and it took me a second to realize how we even became mutuals on TikTok. But then I remembered. So this is a quiz before you even do an intro.
Oh, okay.
So do you remember how we became friends on TikTok?
Weren't people tagging us in the same video and saying like we should do a collab or something?
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Mm-mm. Wrong. no, no. What it was is I think I saw you do some trend and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the same trend and I'm gonna tag her. And I tagged you in the video and then we became mutuals from that. I don't know what trend it was. I'd have to go back and find the video.
I
But
feel like because people would always tag you in my videos or I would always be tagged in
really?
your videos. I don't. How are you gonna ask me a quiz and not know the answer?
That was the quiz. No, I knew the answer.
Are
I
you
knew the
positive,
answer.
like for sure?
I'm gonna find the video. And
Okay.
I'm gonna find the video. But okay, let's just get a little background in case people aren't familiar with you, which I would be very surprised considering you have grown yourself to be such a notable creator on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on anything. And so let's just hear a little about Tori Ortiz.
You just want me to say anything?
Yeah.
Well, I run track, obviously, at Oklahoma State. I'm a sprinter. I'm on my 5th year right now, so I'm about to be done and be moved on to bigger things, whatever that might consist of, because there's a lot of options. So I'm really excited for that. I do social media. I'm really big into the NIL, social media influencing. I got 2 cats. I'm a cat lady. Uh, I love my boys, and yeah.
What's their names? Boots.
Prince and Boots.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You got to hear the government because it's Princeton Duke the Third Ortiz, and then Boots Edwards McGee Ortiz. Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a whole extravaganza of you.
Yeah, bro. They literally have like full governments.
Okay. Are they emotional support animals? Or are they just like, they are?
Not like half and half. I don't know. I just want a cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon just got a cat. Speaking of Brandon, before the show, we're bringing him in, whatever. He got a cat, and his is an emotional support animal. I don't know. I'm not getting an animal.
Girl.
I want a dog. I'm just not going to get it.
I want one too.
Like, I want a dog really bad. I want a Doberman and a Cane Corso.
Okay.
At the same time, but those are big dogs, and it costs a lot.
I'll have 2 horses.
Yeah, it costs a lot to feed a dog, though. So it's like I can't do that.
Yeah.
But okay, I was on the phone with my agent today, and I was talking. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on this little podcast, this little show with Tori tonight. I have stuff to talk about, but I want to kind of push the envelope on what we can talk about rather than just athletics, and what we can talk about rather than just, the normal stuff that every podcast with any college athlete talks about. Mm-hmm. So he was saying that I guess this month, I didn't know this. I don't know if that's like a bad thing, but I guess this month is Women's History Month. Did you know that?
No.
See, I didn't know that either, but he said that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's talk about it. And so I want to know how you feel as a female in athletics. First off, how you feel as a female in athletics.
I think it's a blessing, first of all, to be able to be a female athlete, but I still think that we're not as appreciated as we need to be. I still feel like when it comes to men, whether it's NIL, whether it's the showcasing, whether it's just the attention, the media, the coverage, whatever we get, it still doesn't compare. So
And this isn't even us like disrespecting men in sports. I have the utmost respect for what everybody does in sports. But I just feel like there's such a disconnect when it comes to women and when it comes to men in sports, you know? And I don't know how we bridge that gap. That's just a very large gap to bridge, honestly.
Yeah.
But and then I was gonna go right into female in social media because I feel like it's along the same line and it's a big thing too. So how do you feel about being a female in the social media world?
I like it, but one thing I don't like is my following. I feel like majority of my following is pretty much male, and I would like to have that be more female too. But you know, we gotta work on it.
And I feel like that's how most girls are because I think about that all the time. I'm always like, you know, like I wish I had more girls looking up to me rather than men. Yeah. And because you get comments on videos, you get DMs coming from those TikToks, coming from those videos, those pictures. And I don't think a lot of people understand the kind of DMs that
no, it's ridiculous.
You as someone who is a girl in a more male viewed kind of audience gets. Like
ridiculous, and a lot of them are so just uncomfortable. I just don't understand why men just think they have a right to a woman, or just, I don't know, like some of them are very sweet, some of them are very awkward, and then other of them I'm like, I'm blocking you right now. And I'm so quick to block somebody, especially if I don't know you. And if you come into my DMs or my comments with something crazy or disrespectful, you're not seeing my stuff. Like, I don't need you a part of my support base, whatever, following. I don't care what it is. If you don't come right, you're not coming at all.
No, literally. And I think a lot of people kind of say maybe, oh, that your track uniform. I understand why you have this kind of following because of your track uniform. And I'm like, we can't win, you know? That's what I'm issued. I'm gonna wear that. And it's just sometimes hard because I feel like it gets to my brain. I'm like, what am I worth? I have to draw that line of this is who I am as a person. And just this is for anyone on social media. Like, these people are sitting behind a screen and they don't know the real you. So you need to understand that to take those comments with like a grain of salt because it's just not the truth. Because they just don't know who you are, you know? And I think that's hard to get through your head until you've gotten enough comments and enough, you know, just talk.
I mean, I'm still at it. Like, it's 2-3 years really just starting to continue to build, and it still bothers me to this day about just like negative comments and stuff. But one thing with me is like, people look at me and people look at my numbers and are like, oh, she's a rude girl. I know she's full of herself. I know she's cocky, this, and that. I'm like, no. One thing I will say though, I post my body a lot because I am confident in my body. And that's the reason why, yes, like I understand males like that, but I also more so post that for like women. Like, girl, post your body, post what you want. It's your body, your life. At the end of the day, what you put out on social media does not define you. Just because you post your body does not mean that you're full of yourself. Just because you post your body does not mean that you get down dirty on the weekends. Just because you post your body does not mean that, like, dang, like you could be a homebody and post your body just because you work hard for it. And I think that's something that people don't understand. People will look at people's pages and just be like, oh, she's this, oh, she's that. No, that's not the case. Because really, I'm a sweet girl. I'm a crybaby. I'd be stuck on one boy for 15, 16 months.
Like, tell me about it.
That's how I am. And people look at me and think, oh, she got hoes. She's doing this. She's doing that. Like, no, that is not me. But you know what? Like, at the end of the day, if you're not going to take the time to get to know me, for me, that's your loss. You can take whatever perception you want and run with it. Because if you don't get the time to know me, it's not my problem. You made an assumption that wasn't true. And that's something that I had to learn recently, very kind of the hard way. But people are always going to lie in your name. People are going to make assumptions of it. Even when you know the truth, you just got to keep it, and you just got to keep it pushing.
Yeah, for real. And I think I would get uncomfortable reading comments or reading DMs I would get because I know my mom follows me or my family follows me. And, you know, that kind of gets to your head too, because I came from such a small, tiny town where, I mean, everything's the same, you know, you grow up the same, you grow up, yes. And so,
yep, knew it.
You said what?
So is that why your comments are off?
On what?
Instagram. You don't typically have your comments on.
No, I have started to. I delete comments on that though.
Okay,
it's ridiculous. It's crazy what people will comment.
I was gonna say, if you were like uncomfortable and stuff about it, that would make sense, like why your comments were off, because of like your family reads the comments. Like there's been times that I did that too.
I don't want to be viewed like that, and I tell my mom that, and I'm like, I don't want you to view me like that, and I know she doesn't. But the fact that gets to your head, it's crazy. Like, I think that's just insane. But moving on to kind of like a lighter topic, like, what was your initial reaction when? Because I know this happens, like when people started coming up to you in public, like you could be out at the bars on the weekends, or you could just be at track meet. Like, what was your first kind of reaction, and like, how have you grown into how you react now?
I think my reaction's still the same. I'm kind of still like, oh wow, like me, Tori?
Yeah.
I'm excited that like somebody knows me, and I think it's so cool to know that I went from like just this little girl in Batavia to now no matter where I go. I mean, I remember when I went to New Orleans to surprise my aunt for her 40th birthday, and this girl came into the restaurant, and she saw me on Bourbon Street, and she came into the restaurant, took a picture with me, and I just thought that was the neatest thing, like just to know I'm making an impact. I think that is so big for me, and I literally love that. But I still blush, my cheeks get so red, I still get so nervous, I sweat a little bit too, like this is just how it is. But
me too,
I just enjoy it. I think it's so much fun, and I love to meet people that know me, because it kind of gives you a chance, because everyone's like, oh, I'm so scared to come up to you. I'm like, why? You can ask me what my favorite color is, or you can ask me a very normal question. I'm going to have a very normal conversation with you. Forget that we're people. Like, just
my gosh,
a little bit of spice added to the, whatever. But it's just like, just because we're known, that doesn't take away the fact that I'm still human, just like you.
And I was just having a conversation with a boy on my team, and he said that people were asking about me at some meet or something because they know that we were on the same team. And I was like, I'm so average. Like, I am just a normal person. Like, do not be afraid. What's that TikTok song where it's like, I am never too, I can't even know what it is. No, but I just think it's crazy when people come up to me, because like I've grown a platform to where people want to come say hi to me. I was at Nashville, and a girl's friend said, my friend is like, she watches your TikTok, she really likes you, like, but she's kind of nervous to come up to you. I was like, oh, where's your friend at? And I walked right over to her, and I was talking to her, and I was like, what's your TikTok? And she's like, oh, like, no. I'm like, no, I want to follow you on TikTok.
That's how I am. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I want to follow you on TikTok. She's like, I don't have followers. I'm like, I do not care. Like, I do not care that you don't have followers. And I think that's another stigma. Like, I think a lot of people kind of view anybody who has a certain amount of followers as uppity. And there are people that are like that are uppity and just full of themselves. But I think that most of the people that kind of have a following are nice, especially in the sports world.
I think especially in collegiate athletics, because you're not only representing yourself, but you're representing your school. So if you look rude, come off rude, it comes back not only on you, but your program. And I don't think that's what people get. So it's like you're representing multiple things at once instead of just being a social media influencer for yourself.
Yes. But I remember the first time someone came up to me, I was getting a pizza, and he was like, what's your name? I said, Chandler Hayden. He said, oh, I already knew that. And I was so taken aback. I was like, it's crazy, because you'll go out to like a bar or something, and then someone will call you by your name, and you're just like, okay, now.
I always make sure if a guy comes up to me, I always make sure to to shake the guy's hand, and if a girl comes up, always make sure to hug him.
Yes,
it's like I get you a hug, but a guy will be like, I'm Tori, nice to meet you. Like, I don't care if they know my name, or if they're like, oh, like you're that girl from TikTok, or oh, you're Tori. Like, I'm still gonna be like, hi, my name is Tori. What's your name? Like, gotta be polite.
Some people are so cool about it. I was literally standing at a bar to get my drink, and a guy to my left was like looking at me, and I like turned. He's like, do you do TikTok? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh my gosh, like I follow you. And he was very, very sweet. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me follow you. I was like, and I wasn't even thinking, this guy has like, I don't know, he had like no followers. I'm like, I want to be your friend on TikTok. He was so cool. I feel like some people can come up to you and kind of be not rude, but just have a little different demeanor about it. And some people are just super cool about it. And I love when people come up to me and say hi. The sound is, I'm never too ill. I'm never too cool.
Not you just figured it out.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I forgot. Okay. I am never too, okay. Yes. But like you were talking about earlier, you were talking about your NIL deals. What is your favorite NIL deal you've done? Because you have done quite a lot. You have a lot to choose from, you know. What is the favorite one that you've done so far?
I probably have to say Amazon. To be able to look up my on Amazon and be able to see that, like, I have a whole line of clothes and pillows and hoodies and phone cases and bags. It's like, wow, I'm on Amazon.
No.
So that one was cool, but honestly, the Soul Runner one was super cool too. Just to be Tyreek Hill's first athlete, and then just get to meet him, and then get to meet Jake Paul, and get to meet his family, and be able to go to like the pop-up store in Miami. I was like, this is literally a once in a lifetime experience.
No, for real. I was looking at your pictures. I'm like, I'm so proud of her, but I'm also so jealous because that looks so fun. Like, that looked so fun.
I'm really excited for WWE though too.
Yes, and I was just about to ask you about that because. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a WWE NIL athlete, and I was in the second class. I got to go down to the NIL summit, and I got to meet Triple H. I've met him a couple times already. Got to meet Triple H, meet the other kids in my class, get introduced on stage, and then I was able to go to SummerSlam and just kind of experience what it is to be like a WWE athlete behind the scenes, which was really cool. And Tori had kind of hit me up. She's like, oh, I had been asked, you know, how do you like it, this and this, and now Tori is a WWE NIL athlete. So tell us about your experience with that. Because you haven't been in for very long.
But... I know. I went out to Pittsburgh for the SmackDown, I think. PPG. We went to PPG Paints Arena. It was so much fun, and I got to do like my little media day photo shoot, which was just so cool. And it was so cool just to see everything and meet the people and kind of be behind the scenes, just things that, you know, you maybe never pictured yourself doing. And I remember when we were at the NIL Summit and I was watching that hype video, I was like, yeah, I could do this. I was like, I could do this. My personality, I'm like, that fits me.
Yes, I actually remember that because you were like, well, we weren't sitting at the same table, but afterwards you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it now. Because that hype video got me hyped. I was like, okay, let me, get someone. Right. And now people will comment on our TikToks like Tori and Chandler tag team.
Or it's like wrestle each other. I'm like, bro.
Not wrestle each other.
Lock in.
Tori, me and you could be a badass tag team. Do you think that's something that you would want to do after college? People ask me that all the time, and I'm like, I don't know.
It is. I'm going to say yes to Orlando, but I still have to go experience all of it. Oh, yeah, girl, I would love to live in Florida. What the heck?
Woo! And I was talking to them, the people who are already down in Orlando, and they said they loved it. And I was like, really? And they're like, yes. And then I was talking to a boy who I had met at SummerSlam, and his dad used to work in the WWE, and he said that he's like, I think you would really like to do it. And so, yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy because that's something I never saw myself doing. If you would have said that even like a few months ago, I would have been like, huh? But now I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't watch WWE growing up, to be quite honest with you. Like, and people always ask me, I'm like, no, I didn't really watch it growing up, but like, it's kind of interesting to see it now and like be at the level I'm at and like not have watched it. Yeah. But when you go home, do you get a lot of questions? Because I know that my brothers and my dad and my mom, they always get asked, they're like, is Chandler going to do WWE? Is Chandler going to do this? And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell y'all to tell them because I don't even know for myself.
Like, I always say I'm going to try it. Like, I'm going to go through like the training at Exos. I'm going to do all of that. Like,
wait, are you going to that this summer?
Yes.
Tori, we're gonna be at Exos this summer.
Bro, okay, good. I'm so glad you're gonna be there. We're gonna have so much fun.
Oh my gosh, a week. Okay, that's a story for another time. But no, wait, that's gonna be so fun. Now I'm so excited for that because I'm so glad they opened that up to you. Yes. Okay, and
we're not talking about that.
Huh?
We're not talking about that.
No, you didn't talk about going to Exos for the summer because I went to Exos for the first.
I remember that.
I went to Exos for the first little like snippet of them like introducing WWE and Exos, and now it's crazy because I see Exos training like some of the football boys that went to Tennessee, and Tyler's there.
Bro.
Tyler, for y'all who don't know, Tyler was a football player at OSU, and he was at the NIL summit with me and Tori, and we all became really good friends. So
that was so much fun. That summit was so much fun. I hope I go back this summer. Like, I don't care that I'm done. I want to go back. I want an award for something.
We're getting Tori an award. Do you hear that? The NIL summit's president. We're getting Tori an award for something. We need to come back for that. Okay. And then I have like 2 more questions kind of that are kind of the same side. But if you could give one piece of advice to like athletes who are wanting to go to the collegiate level, what would you give that advice? Or what would you say to them?
Train your mind as hard as you train your body, because it is going to be just as hard as your mental as it is physical. And you got to be prepared for obstacles. You got to be prepared for heavy class loads. You got to be prepared for problems with teammates, problems with coaches, problems with everything. And you got to be prepared to fight for your spot, because everything in college and everything from this point on in your life is earned, not given. So make sure you take that and you just praise it.
Yeah. And I think if I had to give a piece of advice, I would just say, don't be afraid to start at a lower level if you have to. And Tori started at Illinois State, and then
I was a walk-on too.
She came over to OSU. And some people, I feel like they think it's all or nothing. I feel like they think like if I don't make it D1 or if I don't go to my dream school immediately, then it's out of the cards for me. But some of the best athletes, and I mean the best athletes,
come from JUCOs. 100%.
JUCOs. Like, JUCOs are developing some of the greatest athletes.
Best athletes.
Better, like, there's JUCO athletes that are better than me right now, and I'm looking down, and I'm over at Tennessee, and I'm like, that's crazy. But it doesn't matter where you go, like, as long as you have grit, and as long as you are, like, a very personable person, and you can get coached well. If you're very coachable, that's what a coach wants. It doesn't matter where you start. You can start JUCO, D3, D2, and then go to D1, or you can stay at D2. I don't like the stigma that you have to go D1 right off the bat, otherwise you're not a good athlete. That's just
the fact that you make it like to play at the collegiate level. It doesn't matter where you play. Just the fact that you're a collegiate athlete is something that's amazing. Because like you were saying, like there are some people that are in JUCO that are better than some of your top Division I athletes. Like it does not matter. So
no. For sure. And
opportunity. Like if you have an opportunity, take it. And you have to like, I would say like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, it's not like, don't be big headed, but like how you said, be okay with starting smaller. And grow. Because it's, if you're to go in, and for me, for example, like I wanted to be this full ride scholarship athlete out of college. And that did not work. I was a walk-on to a small D1 track school. And look at me now. I worked so hard, and I got to be to where I am, and now I'm living out my dreams, doing things that I never thought I would. And when I hit Illinois State and I was walking on as a freshman, like obviously like your dreams kind of get crushed, because it's like you have all these big dreams, and it's like, wow, well, none of them came true. And it's like it kind of makes you take a step back and reevaluate, and then you kind of have to re-tap in with yourself and be like, yeah, no, I'm going to get there. I just have to work a little bit harder this time.
You got to kind of put your pride aside almost. I feel like that's really hard out of a high school level. I feel like you get told a lot of different things. You really have to stay true to yourself in high school, and that's really hard to do.
Especially if you're like a top athlete coming out of your high school. I mean, I was the best, like one of the best athletes at Batavia, one of the best girls on the track team, and it's like I still was a walk-on. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how good you were in high school. It's how good are you going to be, and how hard are you going to work to be that good.
But aside from advice, like at the collegiate level, because now NIL plays such a huge role, and NIL plays such a huge role in recruiting. It plays such a huge role in just like the college experience. What advice would you give to someone who's just trying to get into NIL, either high school or in college right now? Because I feel like I get questions a lot from people at my school, not even just at my school, at other schools too, of how they can grow their pages and how they can just become more of a creator.
Yeah, you just have to really grow your pages. For TikTok, one of the things is like hop on the trends, on the trends. And I know it's going to sound like a lot, but post like 10 times a day, because bro, yes, I kid you not. Like if you hop on all the trends and you post like 10 times a day, one of those videos is going to go viral.
It's true.
One of those videos, like out of those 10, I'm pretty sure will get way more views than the rest of them. And you can just go back and delete the rest of them and see the one that worked and just keep it moving. Like for me, my media day picks is kind of what set me off. And so I kind of just kept things on track. And then that's how I gained my following over time. But also, like, people love to see reactions to other people's videos. So duet videos, pitches, like people love to see when you interact like with your fan base or with the people in the comments. Like everyone eats that up. Like you have to do what like the audience wants, like what's gonna make people cheer loud for you, you know, like you have to do those things, obviously within reason, but
within reason. No, for real,
asking some just wild out the pocket stuff that I'm like, no.
And I think if I could have gone back, I think I would have started to do more talking videos. I've kind of started to dab into like get ready with me and like debrief the meet with me and kind of go throughout my day with me, you know. Creating a strong personality off rip is so big, and I think that a lot of people don't think about that necessarily, but the more authentic you can be, the easier it is to keep your brand up, because if you don't start authentic, it's going to be so hard to keep that brand up. It's going to be mentally draining. And so
and you got to make it like, you have to make your page unique to you. Like, don't build off of somebody else and do something that somebody else is doing, because at the end of the day, especially if you're in collegiate athletics and you know that you're not going to go pro, you're not going to be an athlete at some point in your life anymore. So you might lose followers after you're done being an athlete, because people may have only followed you because you're an athlete or because you went to the university. So make a name for yourself, not the place you go and not the thing that you do. Like, my job, part of it, yes, but you need to make a name for yourself, because you are going to be, for example, I was Tori before I was an athlete. I'm Tori when I'm an athlete, and I'm still going to be Tori after I'm an athlete. So that's the biggest advice I can give for you and for anybody.
Yeah. I think we covered everything I wanted to talk about personally. I think this was such a good little show. I'm glad that you were able to come on. You were so quick to say yes.
Oh, girl, of course. Plus, we have fun conversations, so I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Easy, fun, easy. Like time flew by. I don't know about
literally. Dang, it's already 7:03.
Thank you guys so much for watching again this week, and I cannot wait to bring you guys another amazing guest next week. So make sure you guys tune in.